Jose Rizal, the national hero of the Philippines and pride of the Malayan race, was born on June 19, 1861 in the town of Calamba, Laguna. He was the seventh child in a family of 11 children, 9 girls and 2 boys. His father, Francisco Mercado Rizal, an industrious farmer whom Rizal called a model of fathers, came from Binyan, Laguna, while his mother, Teodora Alonso E. Quintos, a highly cultured and accomplished woman whom Rizal called loving and prudent mother, was born in Masig, Santa Cruz, Manila. Both his parents were educated and belonged to distinguished families. Jose Rizal came from a 13-member family consisting of his parents, Francisco Mercado II and Teodora Alonso Rialonda, and 9 sisters and 1 brother, namely Saturtina, the eldest child of the Rizal Rialonda marriage, Pasiano, only brother of Jose Rizal and the second child, Narcisa, the third child, Olympia, the fourth child, Lucia, the 5th child, Maria, the 6th child, Jose Rizal, the second son and the 7th child, Concepcion, the 8th child, died at the age of 3, Josefa, the 9th child, an epileptic, died as spinster, Trinidad, the 10th child, died as spinster and the last of the family to die, Soledad, the youngest child. The first teacher of Rizal was his mother on her lap. He learned at the age of 3 the alphabet and the prayers. Rizal goes to Binyan, Laguna on June 1869. He was taught by Maestro Justiniano. In academic studies, Rizal beat all Binyan boys in Spanish, Latin, and other subjects. Rizal entered in 1872 in Ateneo. He was considered as the inferior. By the end of the month, he became the emperor and received a prize, a religious picture. He graduated on March 23, 1877, and received the degree of Bachelor of Arts with the highest honors, not a valedictorian. University of Santo Tomas was under the Dominicans. As a Tomasian, he won more literary laurels. During his first terms in 1877 to 1878 in UST, he studies cosmology, metaphysics, theodicy, and history of philosophy. It was during the second term, 1878 to 1879, that Rizal pursued his studies in medicine. In May of 1882, Jose Rizal got on a ship to Spain without informing his parents of his intentions. He enrolled at the University Central de Madrid. Inspired by his mother's advancing blindness, Rizal next went to the University of Paris and then the University of Heidelberg to complete further study in the field of ophthalmology. Jose Rizal lived in Europe for 10 years. During his European sojourn, he also began to write novels. Rizal finished his first book, Noli Me Tangere. There were about 9 significant women in Rizal's life. There were Segunda Katigbak, Leonor Valenzuela, Leonor Rivera, Consuelo Ortega, Oseisan, Gertrude Beckett, Nelly Bausted, Susanna Kobe, and Josephine Bracken. Having traveled extensively in Asia, Europe, and America, he mastered 22 languages. These include Arabic, Catalan, Chinese, English, French, German, Greek, Hebrew, Italian, Japanese, Latin, Malayan, Portuguese, Russian, Sanskrit, Spanish, Tagalog, and other native dialects. A versatile genius, he was an architect, artist, businessman, cartoonist, educator, economist, ethnologist, farmer, historian, inventor, journalist, linguist, musician, nationalist, novelist, ophthalmologist, poet, propagandist, psychologist, scientist, sculptor, sociologist, theologian, and others. While in Europe, Jose Rizal became part of the propaganda movement, connecting with other Filipinos who wanted reform. He also wrote his first novel, Noli Me Tangere, a work that detailed the dark aspects of Spain's colonial rule in the Philippines, with particular focus on the role of Catholic friars. The book was banned in the Philippines, though copies were smuggled in. Because of his novels, Rizal's return to the Philippines in 1887 was cut short when he was targeted by the police. Rizal returned to Europe and continued to write, releasing his followed-up novel, El Filibusterismo, in 1891. He also published article in La Solidaridad, a paper aligned with the propaganda movement. The reforms Rizal advocated for did not include independence. He called for equal treatment of Filipinos, limiting the powers of Spanish friars and representing for the Philippines in the Spanish courts. Rizal returned to the Philippines in 1892, feeling he needed to be in the country to effect change. Although the Reformed Society he founded, the Liga Filipino, supported non-violent action, Rizal was still exiled to Dapitan on the island of Mindanao. During the 4 years Rizal was in exile, he practiced medicine and took on students. In 1895, Rizal asked for permission to travel to Cuba as an army doctor. His request was approved, but in August 1896, Katipunan, a nationalist Filipino society founded by Andres Bonifacio, revolted. Though he had no ties to the group and disapproved of its violent methods, Rizal was arrested shortly thereafter. After a show trial, Rizal was convicted of sedition and sentenced to death by firing squad. Rizal's public execution was carried out in Manila on December 30, 1896, when he was 35 years old. His execution created more opposition to Spanish rule. Spanish control of the Philippines ended in 1898, though the country did not gain lasting independence until after World War II. Rizal remains a nationalist icon in the Philippines for helping the country take its first steps toward independence.